Okay, yeah, should be live now. So, today's character is Sheik. Um, Before I start this guide, I want to show people that you could play instead of Sheik, kind of. And I'll go over the advantages of playing them towards the end of the stream. But, if you're interested in Sheik, you could also look at Joker and Greninja, who is, over here, actually. So if you're interested in playing Sheik like you played Sheik in Smash 4 and in previous Smash games, then you can look at either of those two. Joker, he's a new character, so a lot of people play him. A lot of people know how to beat him, which is kind of a disadvantage, but a lot of people play him. There's like a lot of new tech that's exclusive to Joker's character, like gun loops and gun sliding. And then with Greninja, you have a character with a lot of combos that kill, a lot of kill confirms, great recovery. You also get a great recovery with Joker, and you also get Arson for higher kill power, but before that you have pretty limited kill power as just Joker without Arson. But with Greninja, you do have a lot of kill power just throughout the match. Maybe not as much as Joker with Arson, but he's kind of just like a more consistent version of Joker. But they all have very similar playstyles to Sheik, and so I'll go over Sheik in this stream actually, and I'll go over them separately. So that'll be in a few days. So with Sheik, you move around very quickly. Just like in previous games, you do have a crawl as Sheik. Kind of a very low one, actually. I do not believe you can go underneath Wolf Laser, but you can kind of duck if you're far enough away. And like duck in the corner, then you can kind of avoid it, because where your head is where like the curve of the laser is, kind of, so pretty sure that you could just try to wait it out and then just sit in the corner to avoid it completely. If you wanted to do that at the beginning of a match or something. You can also just hit it with your side special to get rid of it, but I'll go over that more in a few minutes. So yeah, this is your dash. You can move around pretty quickly. You can do dash chances, all that kind of stuff. Or I can't really perform dash chances that well, but I can kind of do it if I use my right hand. Well, and I messed up there. But yeah, you move incredibly quickly. You jump really high actually for Sheik, so, or not for Sheik, but just for like a character in the game. Much higher jump than most. Even though it doesn't really look like a jump would make that much of a difference, it does help recovering. As your recovery is kind of delayed and pretty limited as well. Like even for a teleport, like I can show you. As you can see there, I wasn't able to make it back to stage, and I wouldn't have been able to if I angled that correctly or not. So, for moves, we're gonna go over tilts, dashes, and jabs first. So for dash attack, just a single hit. Pretty good for comboing into like a dash grab, which then leads into its own thing, or you can just do like dash grab itself. Well, into like drag down up air like I did there. It's kind of hard to do drag down up air, but I managed to land one time. But yeah, that wasn't it. But yeah, just out of dash attack, you can land a grab pretty easily, which can lead into its own follow-ups, you know, like grab fair. Stuff like that. So you can maybe start to do some stuff with grabs, but it does very little damage. It's kind of safe, actually. It doesn't really have that much ending lag, so you can just throw it out every once in a while. And be much more safe compared to someone like Falcon's Dash, for example. It's not that safe of a move. And then let me go ahead and turn on like invincibility and stuff like that at the beginning here. So let's turn on invincibility, CPU shuffling, and stealth moves. But yeah, it's just an incredibly fast move. Has decent range as well. It's not a multi-hit or anything, but it's one of the safer dash attacks, I would say. It's still not perfectly safe, but if your character that you're playing against has a lot of slower out-of-field options, then you can throw it out a lot to try and approach. For a jab, ends in a rapid jab, and it does a decent amount of damage, actually, even if you get it in the corner like this, although it kind of pushes them out of the corner, so it's pretty hard to trap them in the corner, but even if you do, then you just get a bit of damage, like a 25-hit combo, which kind of just messed up my combo there, but yeah, and it does 15.3 if you do the full thing. And then you maybe start a combo. With dash attack, you can kind of start a combo, although it kind of launches too far out for it. But you can start, like, two-framing. I mean, not two-framing, but, jab launch, my bad. And stuff like that at lower percents out of the dash. I mean, out of the jab. But yeah, if you hold it down, you'll do rapid jab, and then if you just, it's just a 2-hit jab. It's not really a 3-hit. It's just 1-2, and then it just turns into a rapid jab after that. So you can only land 1 hit of jab in the jab, or I guess you can hit 2, but it's kind of risky to do. Like you can just do one, and then like a move. Although time it where it's just the first hit of jab, like that or something. In the jab lock, but you can do 2. It's just a lot safer to just do 1, so that way you don't accidentally get caught in a rapid jab. Sorry, don't know why I couldn't speak there. For tilts, you've got forward tilt. It's not really a true combo. Like true combo's on the second hit into itself. So, well, I was not trying to dash back there. I was trying to do forward tilt, but I'm kind of hitting it too hard, I think. But yeah, if you use the actual inputs instead of the C6, then you move, or you tilt much faster, so it can become much more of a combo than if you just use the C-stick, because if you use the C-stick, then you have to time it right, and if you don't time it right, then it's not true. And then you could maybe get a dash grab like I did there, although it's kind of risky to go for out of forward tilt. Forward tilt's got decent range and speed as well. It doesn't really do that much damage. It does 3.7 on the first hit. But you can kind of juggle people with it. At mid percents, you can start a forward air chain, so like around 30%. Or whoop, kind of missing those forward air here. And then just like juggle people off stage like that. Try to get somewhat of an edge guard going, or you can just forward air, for example. And like you can just do like fastball fair. It's kind of hard to land depending on how your opponent DIs, obviously, but like that Falcon was kind of DIing away, so it made it a little bit tougher to hit the forward air, but you can still land it most of the time. So yeah, I guess that's it for forward tilt, and just kind of a decent combo starter for fair. And then it also kind of combos into itself at mid percents, but it doesn't really have much kill power like most of Sheik's moves, so you won't really be getting that much reward out of it outside of the combo that I kind of showed there with fair. Like you can do drag down up air. It's kind of hard to do. And then like you can do drag down up air into stuff, but I'm not really landing the drag down of the drag down up air, so. But it's something that you have to time just right to get a drag down up air. Like that was a drag down up air there, although I couldn't really get a follow up. So just go ahead and turn this percent to 0, and then we'll go over down tilt. Down tilt has a decent amount of range, like, yeah, about here's probably the furthest that you can land it, like, directly in the middle there, maybe in the middle of the circle I'm trying to get in. Let me try to crawl or something, or even that's a bit far. But yeah, as you can see, if you go into the middle of the circle, you'll just miss. But it's got decent range, so, and it's pretty fast, so you can throw it out pretty safely. You can get a dash grab, maybe. You can't just get a neutral grab like I tried there. But if your opponent air dodges because they know that you're going to grab or something, then you can't really land one. But you could do fair chains at mid percent, just like with forward tilt. So, well, I guess this is technically low percent for Sheik, but like does true combo into a fair at this percent. And then you can maybe do something like that, and then set up for an edge guard, or just whatever you feel like doing out of a forward air chain. You can maybe even get up air going. And then just like wait for them to get back on stage and start up air, like a drag down up air. Which to do a drag down up air, if you're wondering, you have to do the up air as you're falling, so that's why it's kind of difficult to do. If you miss it like that, obviously, then you failed. But I kind of got one there, I just didn't really follow it up, and I only got the first hit of it. So that's kind of it for down tilt. It's a decent move for spacing and stuff like that because it has decent range and it's pretty fast. So there's not much like that you can do to punish it on shield. Like you can't really hit Sheik with like a dash grab on shield unless they keep moving in, and then obviously you can dash grab them. Or, I mean, not dash grab them, but just out of shield grab them if they're too close to you. But unless you've got a tether, you won't really be punished. Or unless your opponent has a tether, you won't really be punished that badly for doing down tilt. But for up tilt, It's just a 2-hit combo, kind of. You can't really land the first hit on the ground like that, but you can there. Doesn't do that much damage. It also doesn't spike like Falcons, so if I were to do up there forward tilt, as you can see, it just kind of launches forward. It doesn't really have that many uses unless you're just trying to catch someone's jump pretty quickly. And then maybe you can land a fair follow-up, but it's not that worthwhile of a move to perform. And it does pretty low damage, and so does down tilt, I forgot to say. Like, they do 5%, but that's still really low. Like, compared to Falcon's down tilt, which does, like, around 10 to 15%, I believe. And also, true combos into, like, down air. Or it doesn't true combo, but it kind of, like, strings into down air pretty easily. So, that's kind of it for tilts, dash attack, and, jabs. So, now we can go on to smash attacks. For up smash, it's kind of hard to hit on the ground, so it's not really worthwhile to do. You do gain some invincibility, so I guess you can use that to get through, like, a blade. Or, I mean, a shield breaker from Lucina. I like to call it blade breaker for some reason. But it's kind of obvious where the sweet spot is, directly on top of Sheik's head. So, that's what you want to go for. And even that doesn't do that much damage, so. It can kill earlier than most attacks will, though. So, it is kind of a worthwhile move to do. If somebody's, like, landing on you and you know where they're going to be. But it's kind of hard to true combo into it as well. Like, you can maybe do something like this. Or not true combo, but like combo into it, and then maybe start a fair chain. So, that's just something that you can maybe do out of up smash. You can also like do drag down up air into up smash sometimes, but it's pretty hard to do drag down up air in the first place. So, I wouldn't risk going for it unless you have some experience in just doing like drag down up airs and can land them pretty consistently. So for down smash, I guess we can go over that next. It's 2-hit. Does 13%. Oh, and the sweet spot did 19%, and the sour spot does 13.8 on Sheik's up smash, so. But yeah, down smash does about the same damage as the sour spot of up smash, and it's multi-hit. You can use it to read rules, you can use it out of a jab block, so. Although it doesn't really work if you do the second hit of jab on the jab block. Because as you can see, they kind of get too far spaced out of it. But you can do it on first hit of a jab block. For just an easy punish that's pretty quick. And hits low enough to the ground so that you can, like, maybe duck under some moves. But it's just kind of a good move to go for if you know that your opponent's going to roll. And you do get pretty low in the charging animation as well. So you can maybe use it to avoid some attacks. Like if Wolf tries to predict your jump with a laser and then you just go underneath it with a down smash, then maybe that's a use for it, but outside of that, it's just pretty good for just a fast smash attack. That does decent percent. And you can see I keep getting lower percents, but it's not going to be that powerful because most of Sheik's moves aren't really that strong on a hit, so. For forward smash, it's a 2-hit as well. It's probably Sheik's second strongest smash, other than like the up smash was sweet spot, but if you just want a quick smash attack or something like that, then you can just do forward smash. It works on the second hit of a jab block, so you can use it to get more damage out. And then obviously you can't hit up smash out of a jab block because it hits too high in the air. Like with some characters like Falcon, it will hit, but some characters up smash is kind of hard to hit with. And you can hit the sour spot whenever he leans in. Although I did it a bit too early there. Or like, here, try it. There we go. So that's the sweet spot. So, yeah, I guess that's it for smash attacks. They kill at very high percents, so probably like around 130% maybe. Yeah, forward smash kills pretty quick, but down smash, it actually killed there. I'm kind of surprised on that, so. Let me just turn it down a bit. But as you can see at 110, Falcon's still fine. Forward smash will probably kill, yeah, it killed there. And then up smash most likely will kill as well. Yeah, it definitely kills. So, it's probably one of your, like, more powerful and knockback aerials, but it's very smash hacks, but it's very situational to hit, so most of the time you want to go for forward smash if you're trying to kill with a smash attack. But you can go for up smash if they're above your head, obviously. And that's the best place to use it. For specials, you've got Side Special, which is a little grenade, has a wind box. I've used the wind box to kill one person today, so I believe it was a Belmont. It pulls them into the explosion, so they'll just get pulled in. It also pulls not projectiles, but items. So, let me just spawn in like a timer here. Or not a timer, but let me try something a little bit heavier, like a bullet bill. It's not really pulling in there, but it pulls in the closer that you are. Or it might be too heavy for that, actually, but I've seen it pull some items. That's not really working now, so maybe not. It maybe just looked like it did. But it does have a wind box on it, so you can use that to just pull people in. So, like, if this Falcon were recovering, then yeah, I could just throw off one of these and it pulled him closer to the stage, although he recovered a bit fast there, so I wasn't able to do that much. So I'm just going to fully charge this and then try it. But as you can see, he went a little bit faster than he usually does on that Falcon lunge. So, with Side Special, it kills pretty quickly, actually, and does a decent amount of damage. Each, like, second that they're pulled in, it does damage as well. So they aren't just hit by the explosion, they're also hit by the pull. I'm trying to just hit with pull damage, but it doesn't really do that much damage on the pull, but it can still do a bit. Like, it does a little bit less than 1%. And it kills pretty early for an attack from Sheik, but it's still pretty situational to even hit the right spot. So, as you can see there, I didn't even get the full hit. But it does do a decent amount of damage. So, and it becomes active whenever the grenade hits. It also becomes active if something runs into it, so, like, here, let me try to run it into a Falcon Punch. It didn't really work there, but if Falcon were to Falcon Punch the grenade, it would become active before it usually does, because it kind of has a timer after you let go of the B button before it will explode. So you can't just throw it out and then expect it to just instantly explode on a character that isn't shooting a projectile. Like Wolf's laser, if it runs into the grenade, then it will cause the grenade to explode and the laser won't go through. It'll just trade with the grenade and cause it to blow up. So you can just use that to avoid a laser at the beginning of the match or something like that. For neutral special, needles, they got an increased charging time, but they are a projectile, so they don't really do that much shield pressure. If somebody's just like approaching you or anything like that, you can just throw out some needles. You do have a bit of ending lag, so you can't really follow up on the needles, but if you do them in the air, then you can maybe get close enough to do something. Let me try something. Oh. No, I wasn't able to true combo into anything, but I was able to get it. Like a pretty easy hit. Like, they'd have to be, like, mashing shield, or not mashing shield, but, like, holding down shield or mashing the A button to try and get out of that, so. It does shoot at an angle very similar to PK Fire, so, like, whenever it's on the ground, it's in front of Sheik, and whenever it's in the air, then it's diagonal. In front of Sheik, going downward at, like, a 45-degree angle. And for the damage output, it's pretty small, like 11.3. Let me see. Yeah, 11.3 on the first hit, so whenever it's not stale, I mean. So, and then it has a unique charging animation in the air and on the ground, so this is it on the ground. And this is in the air. As you see, Sheik kind of curves into a ball in the air. And it charges pretty fast. Like, it charged fast before, but it charges much faster now. So, like, that seems kind of slow, but, like, for 2 of those, you get 3, like, 2 clicks. As you can see, you get 3 hits out of the 6. And then on 5 clicks is when all 6 needles are active, so, are like, in your hand. And you can see how many needles you have in your hand. You can see I have, like, 2 needles, I think that is. I can't really tell. Kind of looks like 2. But if I get all 6, then I will have a lot more in my hand. Yeah, I can't really, like, count them that easily because Sheik's hands are in the way and she's kind of moving quickly, but it is pretty accurate to the amount of needles you have in your hand if it's not accurate. But it's kind of hard to tell because of how the needles are. They're like so small, then you can't really see them that well. For up special, it creates an explosion around Sheik that turns her invincible on the ground, so... And then when she's in the air, she's vulnerable to hit except for like the first frame whenever she pops out. So, you can use this to run into people, although it's kind of hard to aim if you're trying to run into people with it for some damage, or you can just hit them on the ground. And it does the same amount of damage as the slide special. So, you can just use that to do some damage. Oh, and I forgot to mention it, but slide special can be reflected, so you can reflect the grenade and it will kill Sheik. And I've only done that once with Ness, against one of my friends who was maining Sheik at the time. And I just forward smashed the grenade because I knew that they were going to throw it out, and it killed them. So, Sheik's actually the 6th lightest character in the game. She has a weight value of 78, I believe, where Fox has a weight value of 77. So that's the difference between 5th and 6th place. I don't know what Mewtwo's weight value is now, but I know it did get increased in the latest patch. It used to be the same as Fox's, but it got slightly increased. And I believe Mewtwo dies at 10% less now. Like, you can compare Fox and Mewtwo's death percents to see the difference in their weight value. But Sheik still dies pretty early due to the low amount of weight. And if you're wondering, up special, even though it is a teleport, it has a lot of startup compared to most of the teleports. And it doesn't have the same amount of range. So, like, let me show you. You can see it just gets me to the ledge. So it's about the size of the stage. It's not a little bit bigger. So, you can kind of use it to recover if you're close enough to the ledge. Like, it pulls you up pretty high, so you can even grab the ledge during that animation, like that. But if you don't grab the ledge, you're not in that much trouble. Unless somebody's, like, right there and hits you. Or I guess they can't really hit you out of the animation because you turn invincible as soon as it starts. So, or like as soon as Sheik's hand is up in the air, it looks like is when it becomes invincible. So not directly on startup, but pretty close to startup. So if somebody's charging a forward smash, you can just up be out of the area. Which I haven't really thought about using that, but it could help. And then down special is Bouncing Fish, which does help you recover. You can bounce off the ground though, so be careful, and if you bounce off the ground, as you can see, you'll fall back. And it has a lot of ending lag whenever you bounce, so do be careful when bouncing and stuff like that. Like, don't just throw out a bounce on the ground, don't miss it there. Unless you know that you can get back to stage safely. So let me hit the stage there. So let me show you that ending lag is what I'm trying to do. So I'm kind of messing it up because I'm doing it a bit early. There we go. And as you can see, I wasn't able to do anything until like her leg went back to underneath where it normally is out of the falling animation. So like as you can see, the leg's kind of underneath her in the falling animation, but after you Bouncing Fish and after you bounce, the legs will remain in the air for a bit of time. And you can't do anything during that period. So it can be used, to kill, and it does a decent amount of percent on its own. It does 13.8. It doesn't really have a sour spot or a sweet spot or anything. Like, you can use it to edge guard, for example, or you can use it to recover back to stage like I did there. But if this Falcon's at a high percent and I know where he's going to be, I can just do that and then edge guard with him, or edge guard with it against him. And as you can see there, that one, oh, it did kill. I wasn't sure if it was going to or not. For aerials now, I guess we can go over that, because we covered specials. You've got neutral air, does a nice bit of percent, like 7.5. Not really that much damage compared to most characters, but it's a pretty good hit. On the sweet spot, it does 7.5. On the sour spot, which is when it lingers, it does 5%, it looks like. Yeah, it does 5. So, even if you don't land the sweet spot, it is active for quite a while, so you can just use it to land into electric grab. And then maybe get a follow-up with some forward air chains, which I'll go over forward air now. So, alright, and I'll go over neutral air. So you can use it to edge guard, like with most neutral airs, it just sends outwards. Like Luigi's sent upwards, and I think that's the only one that was different from just sending in whatever direction it, or like the opposite of whatever direction it hits. So if I hit Falcon on the left side, it'll move him to the right. If I hit him on the right side, it'll move him to the left, I believe. Yeah, so It's just the opposite direction of whatever you're facing. I mean, not whatever you're facing, but whatever you hit them, and they'll move in that direction. Kind of like if you push something, you push it in one direction, and it moves it, or you push it on one side, and it moves in the opposite direction. So, like if I push something from the left, it goes to the right. Is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, that's just kind of how neutral air works. It's a decent edge guard tool actually. So, I was trying to demonstrate it a few seconds ago, but you can just use it to like interrupt moves. I kind of missed there, but like if I were to hit like that, it doesn't do enough hit stun to where if you get hit by it, then you just kill your opponent or anything like that, but it does do decent hit stun and can just kill opponents like Little Mac and Dr. Mario pretty easily. Or like sword characters are kind of easy to kill with it. Like they've got a few options that they can do to remain safe from it, but most of the time Sheik can gimp characters pretty easily with like needles because they cause knockback and hit stun. So you can just hit people with it and kind of confuse them. You can use slide special to pull them under the stage and stuff like that. But it's kind of hard to do with slide special because of how it works. Sorry. With forward air, let's go over that now. It has decent range. You could use it out of down throw to kind of start a chain, although I messed it up there. And then you can set up edge guards with the chain. You can use it to edge guard pretty effectively. It does decent damage. It does true combo and out of a landing fair. And then you can use down air to spike like I did there. I was going to say that you can use spike, but I wasn't sure if you can hit it pretty easily. It spikes on startup, which is why it's pretty difficult to hit. And like you kind of bounce with it, so you have to time it just right to be able to land it pretty much. Like that was mistimed. I'm surprised that I landed it there when I did. But it will kill opponents first if you hit them, but you can't up B out of the animation off stage, so if you do just miss the ledge, then there's nothing you can do to get back. It does 12.6%, so I guess I'll go over it now instead of forward air. But it does 12.6%, and then it can get another hit sometimes. It's kind of hard to land the second hit, though. But if you land directly, like, on your opponent, then it's pretty easy, but if you just land to the side or something... Oh, I guess I landed it there, but it can be harder to hit at times. Like, for some reason I'm starting to hit it now, but earlier I wasn't doing that well. With forward air, though, you can do that as a true combo, and then get a third one, maybe, if your opponent doesn't throw out an aerial or anything like that. They can just throw out, like, an up special or an aerial, because it has very little hit stun due to its low damage output. And then you can maybe do, like... Yeah, I was able to do fair to F smash there. Although I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be used at higher percents. Or it'd kind of be unsafe to do because it's not that safe on shield. Due to its position, yeah, you can't really do it at this percent. But you can still do forward air chains, kind of. You just have to space them out more. And as you can see, I wasn't able to recover with up special there. But you can use down special to recover somewhat. If you do it in the opposite direction than you're facing, then it doesn't go as far if you're trying to pull back. But if you hold forward, though, it will actually go further, so you can do it pretty easily if you hold forward. So it can change. Like, this is just a neutral one. As you see, it doesn't hit Falcon, and this is me holding forward, and it can hit Falcon. And that was me holding away from Falcon, and as you can see, I kind of just stayed in a neutral position almost. And that was it, B reversed. So I'm just trying to see if I can do it and not go all the way is what I was trying to do. Yeah, something like that. But it's kind of hard to hit opponents whenever you do it in a small area like that. So I would recommend going for the further away hit if possible. But you can go for smaller hits off stage, like if you're trying to edge guard with it, and they're like directly in front of you, kind of like how that Falcon was. If his up B didn't grab me there, then I could have hit him with the bouncing fish. But it's kind of situational to do off stage. Like, only do it if you know that your opponent's going to jump back. If they up B back, then it's not really worthwhile to do. And then if they grab the ledge with it, then obviously it's not going to be worthwhile. But if they don't do either of those things, then... Or like you know that they're going to drift inward for it, then go for it. But it can lead to situations like that where you don't recover, so... But yeah, it's not actually that hard to B-reverse off stage. Like, I struggle with B-reversing moves sometimes, but this one I can do pretty easily. As you can see. So you just want to hit B. I mean, you want to, like, hold right, like, as soon as you hit B to do a B-reversed bouncing fish. Or in the opposite direction that you're facing, I mean. And then you can do the same thing with needles as well. Like that was a B reverse needles. And as you can see, I've kind of forgot to mention this, but needles has a lot of range. Like, it didn't really hit there, but it can maybe hit here. Yeah, as you can see, it has a decent amount of range, so you can just hit people from pretty far away hit. And then you can also do it to people that are turning up forward smash, because it has very little startup. But it has, like, so much ending lag that you can't really punish them after doing it. But you can still get a hit in with it. And as you can see, you can still use up smash with recover, even though it's not the best teleport in the game. It's probably the worst, actually, but it's still a decent enough teleport to where you can live. And then for up air, or I guess we'll go over back air first, because I kind of went over forward air and then started talking about other things. But back air, it does a nice amount of percent, like 9.4 it says there. It can be used to edge guard off of the ledge, so like if somebody's just continuing to return back to stage and they're getting close to the ledge and you can just hit them with the back air. You can also use it to cross up pretty effectively because it's pretty fast and it has a decent amount of range as well. Because she kind of extends her whole foot. So you can see it, and then you can use it to linger for a lingering hit. It's the sour spot whenever it lingers, but it's the sweet spot whenever you hit on the foot, so like, it has a few sour and sweet spots. Like, that was a sour spot because it was lingering, but if you do it as soon as it starts on the back air, on the foot, then you get the most amount of damage out of it. If you hit on the leg, it's a sweet spot, and then it also is a sweet spot. I mean, a sour spot, and it's also a sour spot if you let it linger and hit on the leg as well. But it doesn't actually stay active for very long, so it's kind of hard to hit the lingering hits. If you want to go for a lingering hit, just go for a nair, as it's active for much longer. And then for up air, you can use it to juggle, you can use it to do drag down up air combos. It does true combo into itself at lower percents if you do the maximum hit, so. And it also can lead into a fair chain, what I like to call it, or it's just kind of a string, but I just call it a fair chain with Sheik. Don't really know why. I guess it's because of this taunt here. Kind of reminds me of a chain, so. Just get an edge guard like that, and then just try to keep them off stage, because that's probably Sheik's best way to kill is with edge guards. And I'll kind of go over some stuff now, actually, because that's all I kind of had to cover with up air. Like, it's active for a bit of time. You can hit it pretty low to the ground on taller characters like Falcon. Or he's not really like a tall character, but it'd be much harder to hit landing up air on Pichu than it would be for Falcon. So I'll go over throws now. With down throw, it's probably your best combo starter. It combos into fair. So you can use it to start edge guards. You can combo it into up air. It combos into almost every arrow. It's kind of hard to do a roar back air into it, but you might be able to do it. Like I keep doing forward air. I think that was another forward air. Another one. Here, let me slow it down slightly to see if I can land a roar back air, because for some reason I can't do that here. And let me despawn that. But then I kind of did that improperly. Another forward air. Another one. Here, let me slow it down even more, so that way you can just land it easily. But yeah, it doesn't really true combo into back air, I guess, so. It does true combo into fair, so you can still do that. Miss it there. But it kind of depends on how they DI as well. Like, Sheik punishes drifting in very easily for a character in Ultimate, because most characters, like, if people drift in, like, they can hit them with an aerial, but most of the time they'll get back. But she can just land a few fairs and have enough knockback to gimp people for just drifting in. And then drifting in improves Sheik's combo game a lot. And that's what most people like to do after being hit by a move, is they like to drift in. So she can get reads on drifting and recovering very easily. So that's kind of an advantage of using Sheik over most characters. So if you're playing an opponent and they like to DI in on every move, then just try to punish them with that. But if they DI out, it's much harder for Sheik to continue fairing in strings or like doing up airs. And if you haven't noticed with most of the throws, they kind of have like a set knockback almost. So they will combo into aerials for a pretty long amount of time. So like up throw, for example, it launches pretty high. It doesn't really true combo into anything, but it can start a juggle. With like a up air juggle or something like that, and then you can just start fairing. Just whatever you need to do. And then like if you miss a fair and they fall to the ground and they don't tech, then you can punish with a jab block. So that's kind of an advantage of that. Back throw has the most knockback up throws. So you can just use that to kind of... it's not really a good kill throw, I would say. Sheik doesn't really have any of those, so let me show you what I mean. Like at 150, you can probably kill with back throw. No, it doesn't even kill then. But as you can see, it has very little knockback. But up throw will start to send out further, so you maybe do something like that. And what I like to do is whenever they're at like 130% or whatever, on battlefield stages it kills very easily at 130, so I just like to up throw them. Get them to the top platform, you know, and just throw them up. But at like 150 you could probably do it off the side platforms. It's probably like around maybe 200, or like, let me try 180 for up throw. As you can see, it doesn't really do anything. And then forward throw has very little knockback as well, so, and down throw. Even though they all increase over time, they just do so little knockback, like this probably won't kill. Let me try back throw. Yeah, back throw didn't even get close. Up throw got kind of close, like let me try 250. Nope. Up throw is probably going to be the one that kills first, so let me try 270. Nope, they're still alive. Yeah, you couldn't just throw them up in the air and sudden death and kill them, so. But you could if you hit them with needles, it looks like. Or not with needles, because that's not really needle damage, but let me try to hit them with needles first. So yeah, if you hit them with needles, it knocks them back too far, and then you can just up throw them. And it will kill, unless they get out of the up throw. Because they can get out of it pretty easily, but as you can see, it didn't really kill until a much higher percent, so killing people with throws is not really going to be something that you want to try to do with Sheik. You probably want to edgeguard them. Like, you can kill them with specials pretty easily. Except for needle, obviously, unless you gimp them. Like a little slide specialing in, and then you just hit them with a needle. Or like Falcon, using his up special, and then you hit them with needle as they're trying to get back up. Something like this. Although you actually do it effectively, so those are just some options that you have for killing. But most of your kills are going to be coming from edge guards or just like up or side special, I would say, are pretty effective kill methods. Forward smash is kind of safe. Like, it's not really that safe because it has 2 hits, but if you space it out properly, and then, or like you wait for your opponent to forward smash and then like you parry it to forward smash, and it will work pretty effectively. So let me show you what I mean. I'm probably not going to parry this first attempt, but I might parry it. Or, hold on 1 second, actually. Never mind. Did it a bit too early. Bit too early again. Late. Early. But as you can see, if you do parry into forward smash, it's probably your best way of landing a forward smash. You can't really combo into it except at lower percents out of fair, and then like drag down up air. But that's kind of hard to do on the ground. So like you'd have to do something like up throw into drag down up air, and it would only really work on Final Destination form stages. So you wouldn't be able to land it that easily on something like Battlefield or Mementos, for example. Or I guess Mementos would be kind of easy if you're playing on Hazardless, but if you're playing with Hazards on, then it'd be kind of hard to land. And then, kind of we'll go over Sheik's problems now, like I do with most characters, so let me go over advantages first. So advantages, you're incredibly fast. You can get people pretty easily with neutral special. Your aerials are fast enough to be able to get people, and you can kind of chain them together. Down special is kind of good at gimping, actually, if you call out what they're going to do. But it's pretty hard to angle, and then you can just edge guard with side special and use it to trap people into doing options like, if I throw out a side special, they'll most likely shield or jump out of the way, and then I can punish either of those options pretty effectively as Sheik. Even though I wasn't able to get anything there. I'm doing that a bit too early. But you can see I was able to get a grab out of it. And then get somewhat of a follow-up. But, you also have good juggling with up air, or not up throw. Although it kind of starts to juggle. And then you can also use forward tilt to start juggles and throws. And like up throw and down throw both start juggles. Forward throw kind of does, but it's much harder to do out of forward throw. Like forward throw is kind of good for starting forward air combos, but it's not that great for starting juggles. Or not as much as like up or down throw. The problem with up throw is it has too much knockback, but down throw kind of just has enough knockback to be able to get a combo going, and then back throw is pretty good for getting a trap block at lower percents. But yeah, I guess that's kind of your advantages as Sheik. Your disadvantages are the fact that you do very little damage with most of your attacks. So like, in the title of this video I made a joke of saying like getting a 40 hit combo that does 30%. But it's not going to be something extreme like that. But it will be something like getting a 10 hit combo and getting maybe 30 damage out of it. Compared to like if you got a 10 hit combo with Falcon and you would do like 50 to 60%. So your damage output is probably half of most characters, I would say. And sometimes even less. Depending on the character. So if you trade with characters a lot, then you will most likely lose most of the trades. So like if you hit somebody with a fair and then Falcon hits you with like a back air, I guess, because Nice hits fair. But if he hits you with back air, then it will definitely out damage you, even if you do your back air, and then Falcon does his back air, it will for sure out damage yours. So that's just something to be aware of, is that most of the time you want to stay in advantage, because if you get a disadvantage, it's much harder to get out of disadvantage than it is to maintain advantage with Sheik, I guess. And then a lot of Sheik's best tools, which is mostly are aerials. Her aerials are insanely good, as you can kind of tell. Or not like insanely good, but you can do like fair chains into like a bouncing fish or something like that. You can combo fair into like pretty much anything. Like fair to dash attack to another fair. Kind of works. Although I did forward smash there. But as you can see, you have a little bit too much ending line from the dash attack, so. But you can do something like that to just knock people around with fair. Is that one of your that's one of your advantages, but a lot of Sheik's advantages, like with aerials and smash attacks, just gets outclassed by most other characters. Like, let me show you. Here's a fully charged Sheik smash attack damage. It's 22.9. And then here is Falcon's fully charged forward smash. You can see it does 31.7. So it just most moves will do significantly more damage than Sheik's moves, so you will have to land a lot more hits to get to a percent where you're ahead of your opponent. And then another problem is the fact that you don't really have that many kill setups as Sheik. So what I mean by that is, like, fair forward smash, that works at lower percents. Well, sorry. But if I were to open this menu up and go to 70, then if I do fair forward smash, you can see it knocks too far away for forward smash. Like, you can land another fair, but you can't really do any kill moves at this percent safely, because a lot of them, if they get blocked, then they will be pretty unsafe. And they don't really kill until much later percents either, as we kind of showed at the beginning. So as you can see, that was at 100%. Now, if, something that's bad about Sheik is that Sheik's so light that if Sheik were at like 80% actually, then Falcon's forward smash could probably kill Sheik at around 80. at the same distance. So, let me turn Sheik up to 80% here, and then move Falcon to about where I was, and then have Falcon forward smash me. And as you can see, it for sure killed Sheik there. So, that's kind of a problem, is that not only do you kind of have trouble killing or getting opponents to a percent where they can be killed, but you get killed insanely early. Like, that was at 40%. I didn't DI that at all. This is with DI. Yeah, it still killed me at 40. But at 30%, it'll probably confirm, but I can probably DI it. Or I didn't confirm because I started moving. But yeah, I was able to DI out of the way. But let me try with no DI from that same spot. And you can see it killed with no DI. So, you die insanely early as Sheik. Not as early as Fox, but just a little bit more early due to the weight difference being one value. So, like, you do very little damage, and you die pretty early, and you have to get opponents to higher percents to be able to kill. You're not very limited on range, I would say. Like, Sheik has decent enough range to be safe in most scenarios, especially with needles and side special, being how they are. But, and also Bouncing Fish, for example, has a lot of range, as you can see here. So, those are really good tools for Sheik to have, but, I mean, they're still not as great as something like a Wolf Laser, for example. Like, Wolf Laser is just straight up better than Sheik. Like, Nikita's a better character than Sheik is what I've heard some people say, so. Honestly, I would recommend playing the other characters that I talked about at the beginning, that I will discuss more in depth in a few minutes. Other than, or if you're planning on playing Sheik, because she was nerfed so significantly. Or not really nerfed, but she kind of stayed the same, and everyone around her just got more powerful, and they were able to live at higher percents and do much more damage, while Sheik just kind of remained the same, like, low damage. But a lot of combos, and a lot of ways to gimp people, but it's just not really enough to save her. And then she also dies insanely early, so it's just not enough to save her. Whereas someone like Captain Falcon, for example, he got nerfed just like Sheik did in between Ultimate and Smash 4, but it wasn't detrimental to his character. Like, Sheik went from being a top tier character to a low tier character, which is something that's kind of messed up. And she's been top tier since Melee. What you would do is you would play Zelda, and then you would switch into Sheik at the beginning of the match to be the better character, but now I would recommend playing Zelda over Sheik, for example. So, I'll go more in depth into the characters now that I recommended at the beginning. So, let's go over Greninja first. So, Greninja is the top tier out of the two other characters that I would recommend to play if you're planning on playing Sheik. Like, you can play Sheik, I'm not saying that you shouldn't play Sheik, but these are characters to look at if you're interested in that kind of playstyle. Greninja moves a lot like Sheik, and they have very similar moves. They all have kind of similar range as well, compared to Sheik's moves, and and Greninja is pretty fast. The recovery is a lot better with Greninja, and you will do much more damage and kill much more consistently with Greninja, so that's why I recommend him. He is the top tier, as I said before, although he's kind of on the lower end of top tier, like he's A tier, so that's the top 10. And that's like the bottom 5 of the top 10, and then my S tier is the top 5. But, yeah, I'd put him like around 8 to 7, that kind of range on my tier list. And then Joker, he's in the middle to lower section of high tier, I would say. So whenever you're playing as Joker, it's pretty much identical to playing as Sheik. So you kind of have the same amount of kill power and damage output, although Joker's is a little bit higher than Sheik's. And then whenever Arsene gets into the equation, then obviously your damage and kill power is going to increase pretty significantly. So, sorry, just noticed my capture card kind of flashed there. Well, it's probably going to mess up in a few seconds with me messing with it. But, yeah, that's just kind of the advantages to using Joker and Greninja. Like, with Joker, a disadvantage is that you have less powerful special moves, I would say. Like, a lot of Joker's special moves really don't do anything, other than set up like Aegon, or whatever it's called. It just does damage over time. Gun special can create gun loops, which is pretty good, but they're insanely difficult to pull off and require extremely precise timing. And like, if you're one frame too slow, then it stops becoming a true combo, and then they can just get out of it and stuff like that. And then with Greninja, he's probably going to be the best one to recommend, as he is top tier, as I said before, and he's got much more kill power and setups. But honestly, if you feel like playing Sheik, then I would recommend playing Sheik. I'm not going to tell you to play a character, or to not play a character, but I'm just going to say that Joker and Greninja are characters that you should look into. And that's kind of just my Sheik guide, so after this, I will be doing a CPU tournament. I've decided to move that to Tuesdays and Thursdays and just have the Solimar be on Mondays. Sorry, my voice is cracking so much, I don't really know why. I guess it's because I haven't really drank that much water today, but, or I guess drinking, I really don't care how it's pronounced, but, I just haven't consumed much water, I guess I'll say that. So, I guess it's probably why my throat's so dry and cracking. So I'll drink some water between this stream and setting up for the CPU tournament, so I'll be back whenever that's set up in a few minutes.